Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Puck and Stuff Podcast with my boy T Dog. This episode is sponsored by, well, A Man Can Dream.
A man can dream. LeBron can't really because he's not in the playoffs, so.
And he hated the play-in tournament the most. How convenient, because I'm a Lakers fan and my team didn't make playoffs. Anyways.
Don't worry, Raps are getting swept, man, I'm telling you.
So
Shaq is right. Maybe not swept, but.
I would say that goes to 5 or 6. But anyways, if you guys haven't already figured it out, we are doing our first NBA edition. And we're going to start off by doing the NBA playoff predictions. So obviously we missed out on the first play-in tournament, and the next one is tomorrow. But once you see this video, it is later today. So we're going to actually talk about the first round playoffs and who do we think gets in from the play-in tournament and versus the first seeds. So Tristan, I think we should go right into it and talk about the Pelicans versus the Clippers. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
So the thing with this is, you take out injuries, then who do you think? Probably Clippers, right? More of a star-powered, I'd say, roster overall. But with injuries, well, both these teams really have the injuries, right? Mm-hmm. Zion's out, Leonard's out, and so, your bigger names. So that kind of, takes a little bit of...
out of the scenario.
Scenario, right? But
yeah.
I gotta say, right, like, it's gonna be a good game. Probably pretty high scoring.
You're sticking with Clippers for sure?
I think Clippers, yeah. I don't know. It just seems right. I think Clippers are probably gonna be able to pull it off. I mean, I don't know. All I know is these two teams are gonna, whoever wins, those Suns, man, good luck.
Yeah, like you kind of said it yourself. I gotta admit, from what you said about the Clippers, yes, they still have Paul George, and I still think Paul George is probably one of the best small forwards to play in the league right now. But Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans has been killing it, and I could just see a little bit more star depth from the Pelicans, and I think they pull it off against the Clippers because I don't see the Clippers as a star-studded team without Leonard there. Because you obviously seen what Leonard has done on his own with Toronto back in 2019. Oh, good days, good times. But anyways, they're just not the same team without him. And I think the Pelicans do move on versus the Suns in that situation.
I think that's the biggest problem with the NBA in general is because not every team, but a lot of teams do have the big name superstar. And of course, with the NBA, you can get away with having a few players that kind of, for say, carry your team, to maybe a higher standing than maybe you should be.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, then say injury occurs, right, and they can't play. So then what happens, right? And then you can really see like the holes being exposed in those scenarios. So I can see where you have problems with the Clippers in that sense. I can think the same with the Pelicans as well. But yeah, the playing around, man, I don't know. I just kind of off topic, but I still don't know how I feel about these playing rounds. It feels kind of unnecessary now that we're out of this COVID scenario.
Yeah, during the pandemic, for sure, with when you played only half of a season and a little bit of a quarter left over, and it just didn't make sense. And this play-in tournament was actually a really good idea by the NBA during the pandemic, for sure. But seeing it now, it's just, I don't see a point in it. Like, when you have full season games and you have mostly healthy teams, no more COVID protocol or anything like that, you should go back to a normal format and give the top 8 teams their give instead of play this play-in tournament.
No, 100%. I agree with you on that.
But to be honest, most of the teams that are actually in the play-in tournament are also, yeah, it makes sense kind of, but also I don't agree with it. But anyways, we're actually going to jump over to the East. That's East. Yes, East. We're also going to jump over to the East. It's going to be the Hawks versus the Cavaliers in that play-in tournament. Who do you think moves on versus the Heat? Wow, that was a great breath.
See how I think Hawks depend on talk about superstars again. See if Trae Young can kind of pull out a nice game, right? Score maybe a 30. Score 30 maybe.
He owns the Knicks. I love that last playoffs because you remember last year's playoffs when Trae Young owned the Knicks. That was great to watch.
So man, if you get him on fire, I think the Cavs are gonna have some time struggling. I'm pretty sure the Cavs have been also known as well a bit to have some defensive problems this season. So much in the back end, but yeah. So of course, if that's true, then a little bit of a problem, but
Yeah, for sure. I also have the Hawks winning in this situation, but you also got to take to the fact that the Cavs are actually looking very bright and looking playoff caliber because they're still young, and this is without LeBron there, which is actually really interesting. So I actually love to see that they're actually starting to become something without LeBron being there. It is much deserved, and I think they deserve.
well, Jared Allen's really up and coming, right?
Yeah, but I think he's also injured right now, which kind of sucks for the team. But yeah, it's a lot of young players on that team that could actually become something for sure. But looking at it, I don't think they beat the Hawks. Like the star difference and still Trey Young's out there. I don't think they win for sure. Tristan, we're actually going to stay in the East. So you and I both said the Hawks move on, become the 8th seed, and they verse the Heat. Who's coming out, the Heat or the Hawks?
Yeah, the Heat this season has been absolutely dominant, and I just something tells me that these first
give me your games.
teams.
Give me your games as well.
In games.
Yep, we're going deep into
Heat,
it.
Cavs. I like this because I mean we always talk about LeBron. In any basketball scenario, you somehow talk about LeBron. He always comes up, and just Heat, Cavs, right? Former LeBron teams. That's just kind of picks them in my head. But the Heat's been absolutely dominant this season. I want Lowry to really win another chip too, right? So
yeah,
you know what?
fair.
I'm gonna be taking the Heat. I'm gonna say 6 games. You know what? No series is ever gonna be easy.
Yeah.
So
true.
I could see the Heat, pulling it off. I really think the Heat have something special this year going on, and I think this is one of those years that they could definitely do some damage.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of went in the same route as you. I also have the Heat winning because they've just been explosive this year with their offense, and obviously they're doing pretty good defensively with Bam because Bam is looking like at least a top 5 center in the league right now for sure. I actually have them going out in 5 games against the Hawks. So the Heat in 5.
Yeah. All right.
Then I also, could I just jump over to the next series?
Yeah, for sure.
The next series is actually the 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors, and I have it going to 7 games in favor of the 76ers because Toronto is actually looking still like a bright team. They have also been proving themselves to be contenders this whole time, but just compared to MVP level Joel Embiid, and you still have James Harden there, I still think they can't beat it. And I hate to say that because I don't hate the Toronto Raptors. I love what they did in 2019 when they won it all with Kawhi Leonard because
it's not 2019 anymore, right?
No, it's not, because I really wanted them to win against Golden State, so we're happy they did. But yeah, in this scenario, you guys are looking bright, you're looking young, and I love to see it, but you don't beat the 76ers.
Yeah, I said 76ers win as well. I'm going to say 6. I think there will be a little bit of pushback from the Raps.
I don't think Shaq's right? What the hell?
Shaq's right with them losing. I don't know about sweeping. I just think Shaq
that was ballsy to say.
Shaq seems to have a vendetta against these Canadian teams. Gotta say, one thing about Raptors winning in 2019 is the American media did not like that at all.
No.
And they just tried to oh yeah, they won. This. Shut up.
I remember
more excuses for that than the COVID season, right? It's just funny how that happens, but.
Actually, I remember listening to Stephen A. talk about that when the Raptors won,
yeah.
And he wasn't happy because they're a Canadian team. You guys stick with hockey, and I'm like, dude, no Canadian team has won one since what 1994.
Yeah, but name me how many Canadian players are on the Raptors at that time, right?
Exactly.
It's just such a stupid. It's just because it's across the border. It doesn't really
yeah,
matter, right?
I really don't get that, and especially when Canada made the game basketball.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that when you
they're
take
just
that.
jealous, see?
Yeah, but
anyways, we have all the good inventions. But no, so the Raps, they're young, up and coming. I love Scotty Barnes, Malachi Flynn. I think there are some young pieces there that, of course, are gonna be up and coming now that the other era is ending, of course, with the Lowry and. Even before with the DeRozan, I would love DeRozan to come back.
Oh.
I don't know, man, but
he's with the Bulls right now, and he's killing it.
As well as Van Fleet is injured, so that's a big piece too. Especially I think as well you can talk about veteran presence and or
all-star presence.
Yeah, and leadership as well. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So I think those are gonna be pretty whatever. I just don't know how I see about the Raps. I just don't really see a sparkle in this, maybe like a.
A miracle.
I don't see him as like a diamond in the rough kind of thing. I just see it as, they'll fight hard, but I just don't think they have the power, and I could be wrong, but I don't think they have the power and the ability to honestly pull a few rounds.
Yeah,
per se.
I get that. I can for sure see that.
I think they really are just kind of missing a player that can just pull up 30 like it's nothing. You know, like I don't. So that, I mean, I really do think that's why Leonard. I don't think Leonard carried for say in 2019, but was a very, 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 very big.
How many very?
I guess, yeah, exactly.
No, but
he's a very big factor. Right,
yes,
is what I'm saying, right?
Well,
so
because for sure, I think Kawhi Leonard was probably the biggest part of that 2019 run
100%.
because he was the all-star that fit all the pieces together and it was great. But anyways, jumping over enough of Raptors and 76ers for sure. We're going to jump over to the Bucks and Bulls.
We didn't even talk about Spicy P. I was just thinking about that.
Oh, we never did. Oh, well, that's sad. But Bucks and Bulls, Chicago is actually looking really good this year.
They're up and coming too, right?
They kind of been on a little bit of a slump. That's why they fell to the 6th seed because I remember them being like 2nd or 1st halfway through the season. And I think that little slump for them is really going to kill them because they verse Giannis and Giannis wants a repeat.
I think Bobby Portis wants a repeat. Oh,
yes. Bobby Portis needs a repeat. Yes, for sure. But I actually have the Bucks winning this series in 6 games. And
yeah, okay.
It's nothing against the Bulls because the Bulls look great because Zach LaVine is actually playing to his potential, especially when you have DeMar DeRozan there. And I'm pissed as a Lakers fan because we were told that DeRozan had a chance of coming to LA, but we chose Westbrook.
Oh, you got Danny Green, you're fine.
Oh, fuck that, man. He was there for the championship, but that doesn't mean we wanted him there for the championship. You know those bricks he was throwing out there? This is way worse.
I throw worse.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I have Milwaukee in 6. They move on. It's not a killing, but it's a tough fight, but I think they come up on top.
Yeah.
Because who beats Giannis? He's one of the best players in the league right now.
Something tells me about this series is that I think Bucks win, but I can see Bulls being a bit of a dark horse in the sense that I think this game goes to 7, or the series, goes to 7.
Actually, I can see that too.
I could see, honestly, just some hard working, some grindy games that just kind of go down to the wire. Maybe get a few buzzer beaters. Those are always nice, right? So
I'm really excited. A lot of playoffs are coming around the corner. Jeez.
I know it's a lot to unfold, so I'm excited. But yeah, Bucks and Bulls. I think Bucks really are the better team overall, right? Yeah. Giannis is, of course, Bucks are going to want that repeat, and so yeah, I mean, I think they're just going to be able to outplay the Bulls, but I think the Bulls are just going to be able to, really give them the run for their money.
I'm sorry. So we're technically watching the Flames game right now, and I just saw someone get railed into the board. So sorry, I'm laughing.
Tell me it was Lucic.
No, I don't think it was. But oh my god. Okay, so
save Vladar.
Sorry. Anyways, yeah. Sorry. Anyways.
Celtics nuts.
Yeah. So thank you. I was struggling there for a second. So how I get this is, the Celtics have actually looked like a very dominating team. And I got to give I got to give Jason Tatum his credit because he is an all-star player that looks like he could dominate the league for years. Mm-hmm. And I love to see that from him. But if you look on the other hand, you have Kevin Durant, who's probably still one of the best scorers in the league, and maybe of all time if you really want to put to it. I still think he's a bit of a snake. And you have... you still have Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. He's an interesting conversation as well because he didn't play a lot of the season because of he wasn't vaccinated. The league wouldn't let him. New York wouldn't let him play. But now he's actually able to play in the playoffs, and they are looking terrifying because it's just those two. And Harden didn't want to be a part of it anymore, which he left. So thank God for the league on that one because imagine that 3-headed beast going in the playoffs. But I think the Celtics take it in 7. It's a fight. This one's a fight because KD and Kyrie Irving want to prove everyone with their BS wrong. But I just don't see them. I think they stop there. I don't think they beat the Celtics.
I was actually putting Nets in 7.
Yeah, you're.
So
It's either.
kind
I
of
think
switch, right?
it's a 50-50
So,
to me on that one because that was the hardest one for me to pick.
Although, who gets home advantage? Celtics get it, right?
Celtics do.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, depends, right? That's Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown as well is going to have to, step it up. And so, I mean, he has been all season, but I think the Nets really just have more superstar ability and just power. I think that'll kind of more. Would you say more championship-esque experience? More.
I mean,
I don't know if you can.
Yes,
say that, but
in an instance, yes, because you have like so many stars like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and you got many like their head coach is Steve Nash. You definitely have the playoff capability and the obviously veteran leadership there, but still. I don't think they beat the Celtics. I really don't.
Well, they have the better Curry as well, so.
Oh, yeah. That is very true.
Curry,
they do have the other Curry.
legend.
I forgot about that. They have.
Legend.
I can't believe. Did you know that? I think Steph Curry actually has a better 3-point percentage than his brother.
Does he actually?
I think he does. If you search that up, I think it's actually read that he does have a better 3-point
I'm gonna search
percentage.
this up right now. Okay, hold on.
But you also got to realize that I think Steph Curry has made and attempted a lot more threes than Steph did. Am I wrong about that, or am I just shooting shit, or is this actually true?
I'm gonna see. Let's see if I can find something here on the Google.
Yeah.
Curry's remarkable shooting efficiency. I've said efficiency. gives him bragging rights over Steph. Seth ranks second all time in career 3-point percentage by 44.1%, trailing only current Warriors head coach Steve Kerr. He's still coaching that
Steve
team?
Kerr has the best? Really?
I mean, he kind of was on a
Bulls team.
on a Bulls team with
Oh, it was Lucy Rectum.
I was gonna say with the Bulls, we're gonna make that joke. I'm like, I wonder if Michael Jordan's gonna come out of retirement.
No,
or
he would
something.
come out of retirement for the Hornets because he runs them.
He would do it for the White Sox's AAA baseball team. That's
Oh,
what it'd be.
yes, exactly. Oh my god, I already love talking about NBA because you and I can just shoot so many shit jokes in this.
I know. Like, I've noticed that with basketball and in football too. The two sports that are just memed to death.
Yeah, it sucks that hockey isn't like that. But
Well, it's because they're bigger, right?
Yeah.
Like, they just have more of it. You know what's crazy? My
time
dad,
will come.
like, the 1980s, hockey was bigger than basketball in the sense of, like, viewership and ratings and stuff from the leagues. The NHL was bigger than the NBA. And it's just crazy that they've lost it, which I mean is probably because Bettman sucks at his job. But it's...
What a call out. Oh my god,
not,
what a call out.
I don't know, man.
He's not
He just don't like
great.
Canadian teams.
Well, to be honest, the 80s did have, like, Gretzky out there putting up. Like,
Yeah, sure, you had
good
the best
amount.
in the world.
You had the best in the world, but now, I don't know how to feel now. Honestly, I think it's... Anyways, I'm just going to go back to basketball.
But yeah, so, like I was saying, though, Nets, I think this has been as much as the Celtics have, that a five position standing over the Nets, I think the Nets have honestly had a better season in terms of maybe, I would say, games that mattered.
Yeah.
In that sense,
That's
I don't know,
true.
but I think the Nets are going to take this. That's just how I see it.
That's fair. That's very fair. I won't judge, but also I don't agree. But anyways,
That's fair.
so we're gonna actually jump over to the West now.
Bro, I forgot Ben Simmons is now a net.
Oh yeah, he's been a net ever since he got traded, and that was like halfway through the season. He said he was supposed to be available for the postseason, but he says he still has back problems. I think that's what it was saying about him. But anyways,
Can't make that excuse. He's not carrying. This isn't
Clearly,
Philadelphia.
Ben Simmons was sitting out half of the season because he didn't want to play for Philly. He gets traded, and now
I was
he's
gonna
still
say
not playing.
he can't complain about back problems. This is in Philadelphia. He's not carrying.
Exactly. But anyway. Okay, so now we jump over to the West, and we have the 1st versus the 8th seed. So we have the Phoenix Suns versus the Pelicans. Tristan, give me your first thoughts.
I'm gonna go. I'll probably get in trouble for this. Suns in 5.
Oh, really? I said Suns in 4.
Okay, alright. So yeah, we think.
Yeah, we're
I'm
pretty
telling
close.
you, it's like it's probably because it's the NBA, but it's like
There's going to be those.
there's something about number 1 seeded teams that are just always so darn good and actually prove that in the playoffs, and I can see the Suns doing that. And they've had such a dominant season, of course, right? Devin Booker, you have some Chris Paul in there as well, and
They are a really
right.
good
It's
team
just
all
it's just a deep team, right? So it's good for Arizona to actually have good sport teams.
It's actually
I don't know how-
Phoenix. It's not Arizona.
Well, no, like the state,
Yes.
you know what I mean. But
But if you're mentioning Arizona Coyotes,
How are
no,
the-
they're
how are the Diamondbacks doing in the first bit of the season here? Let's see.
wow. We
50,
switch it
I know.
right over the
I know.
baseball, huh?
I just need to see that they're playing the Mets in a series. Okay. I can't find it, but
Oh.
no. They are 2-4. Okay.
I'm just gonna let this guy ramble on about the
2-4.
Arizona.
Anyways.
So,
So
Diamondbacks.
yeah, they're a dominant team. I could see them honestly going all the way, right? It's just been all talks about and stuff, but
best
yeah,
record in the
they
league.
are-
Got everything on
Mhm.
them right now. You're looking like one of the best teams in the league. I can see them going. Sorry, I could see the Suns totally sweeping the Pelicans in 4.
Yeah.
Because just with your star talent, you got the veteran leadership. You got when Chris Paul is on a team, the team just gets better. That's like the standard with him. Every team he's been on, they have been successfully better in the long run, or just
I don't
that
know.
season.
Is this like a statistical thing?
Yes, because
Oh,
every single
wow.
team he's joined is gotten better. Like it's insane with him because he's just a good leader. He knows how he's probably has one of the best basketball IQs in the game for
Yeah.
sure. I don't have much more to say about that, and I'm guessing you don't either. And I'm gonna jump over to the Dallas Mavericks versus the Utah Jazz. I have the Mavericks in 5.
Mavericks in 5. Okay.
Just it's Luka Doncic.
Are they gonna get Doncic back? I know we're.
I bet
looking
I
at
bet
that,
he
but-
if he's back, they win it in 5. If they don't, it's a little bit tougher.
right, because Doncic really is gonna be a big
But
factor.
apparently, Donovan Mitchell isn't playing for the Utah Jazz either.
Okay, so you have both point guards.
You
kinda
have
not,
both starter and
yeah.
point guards gone. So
I think they have the better. I think the Jazz do have the better center though in Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, yeah, he's like a
They-
defensive player of the year.
Oh, that's the guy who
Started COVID.
Oh,
Yes.
Vegas scored.
Hallelujah, we're
Oh, boy.
losing to Vegas.
Oh well, we'll win against Arizona. I'm telling you, Arizona in 2004 we clinched the playoffs against the Coyotes.
That is true.
So, just
So,
saying.
I also just want to mention, we usually talk about hockey, so if you guys are curious why we keep jumping back to hockey, it's what we mainly talk about. So if you're into hockey at all, please please watch the other videos. We would love that. But anyways, we're going to jump back to basketball.
Yeah.
So Tristan, Mavs, Utah Jazz.
I didn't give
what you
my
got?
I didn't give my series. I didn't say Mavs in 4 or 6.
4. Oh,
Mavs in 6.
that would make sense
That's what I
to
meant
me.
to say. Yeah, I just see Mavs the overall better team. You get Doncic back. Yeah, it looks a lot more promising, right, for the Mavericks. And I think the Jazz really just honestly need another
I don't
year or
think they're-
two, if they can just get a few more.
I don't think they're contenders at all because like Donovan
No.
Mitchell and Rudy Gobert have actually had problems in the past with each other, and it's
Yeah.
starting to show a little bit more. And they don't look like true contenders to me. They still look like a
I
team that's
think-
just we have 2 stars that we still need to figure out, and I just don't think they're.
I
there.
think they honestly need to add more depth or something for the power forward position and the small forward position.
I think if they get eliminated this year, they either go into the offseason being like, okay, we either blow it up and restart fresh, sell all the players' picks, or you go all in, sell all the picks, fix your problems, go there.
Yeah.
But I still see Mavs in 5.
Okay.
Then-
Yeah, so I think we kind of agree on the same sentiment there.
Yeah, for sure.
Mavs being overall just better, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Then we have the 3rd and the 6th. We have the Golden State Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets. And this was probably the hardest one for me because, what is it? Steph Curry is still out right now.
Yeah.
But is he supposed to return? I can't remember.
I think him and Wiggins are actually supposed to be back around the same time frame. But if I'm correct, Steph wasn't till like
Because I heard they were both...
first 2 or 3 games or something of this, of the thing.
Yeah,
of
because
the
I heard
series.
he is supposed to be back for the postseason. But I think the Warriors come out in 6.
Really?
Yeah, because
I don't know, man.
I look at Denver.
Jamal Murray.
He's not back yet.
Oh, that's true with the injury.
He's not back. He's still injured, and you still have Jokic. Yes,
But
Jokic is having
Jokic is
another.
having a disgusting,
He is having a
phenomenal
disgusting
season.
year. But you,
So it's the Europeans, man, that just
they
rack
come
up
out and
points,
kill
man.
it, and I don't get it. But I don't see Jokic being a one-man stand when Curry comes back. Because
No.
assuming Curry comes back, he's dropping threes like nothing. And you still have Clay that's already dropping threes because he's starting to show his prime again. And after
Yeah,
that
that's fair.
ACA, 2 years, I can't believe he's been out for that long. Jeez. But I'm happy he's back, but I still see Warriors in 6.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just see maybe the Nuggets will have some. Oh, they lost, eh?
Yeah.
I can honestly see the Nuggets pulling it off. I mean, I think hopefully they get Jamal Murray back.
I think
'cause
that's the
really
factor.
gonna probably be the factor of me actually being right if I am. But I could see it being a 7-gamer.
Really? You think 7?
Yeah,
I think it's 6.
I see Denver in 7, but it's kind of hard to always win in Golden State area.
Oh, yeah, for
in
sure.
Oakland,
They're
so-
loud. They're
I mean, you need to get home advantage for that. But yeah, I'm gonna say Denver in 7.
Okay, so we move on to our last series, and it is the Memphis Grizzlies versus the
Did you
Minnesota.
say Thompson was injured for 2 years, or was that Iguodala?
No, that was Klay Thompson.
Oh, Thompson.
Remember, because he got injured
Yeah.
in 2019,
Yeah.
and he hasn't played 2 years.
That's bad, man.
Yeah. If you literally search up the players that were still playing on teams in 2019, it would be completely different. He was out of the league
Yeah.
for that long.
That's something.
Yeah, literally.
I guess that's why they had such a bad season. Was older players were just
Well, because Katie
injury-ridden.
left, Curry was
Like,
the
worse
only one
than-
out there.
like they were like what the Habs are this season in the sense of injury.
Yeah,
Just everyone was injured.
everyone was injured, but they didn't do as bad as the Avs for sure. Okay, so the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So the Minnesota Timberwolves won their playing game, and they celebrated like they won the NBA Finals. Pat Beverly was so funny during that, and I don't think they move on past the first round though. I think it goes to the Grizzlies in 7 because John Morant is looking like one of the deadliest point guards in the league. And even though it's kind of weird with him in the team because they actually have a better winning percentage with him off the court than on the court, which is weird. But he's such a big piece of that team at the same time. He's kind of looking like Westbrook, but not Westbrook. That's probably the
I
best
should-
word. Like, or it's either Westbrook or Derrick Rose in my head. If you think of John Morant with his athleticism and his hand,
So like OKC
kind of,
Westbrook.
yeah,
Okay.
not any other Westbrook, just that Westbrook,
Yeah.
triple double Westbrook. There we go. I don't think John
Oh
Morant even
man,
puts up
I'm
a-
gonna. So this is where my knowledge like comes out of luck is because I'm not like I don't follow the Grizzlies that much, neither the Timberwolves. So I don't. I'm gonna say Grizzlies in 6. I know they've really had the better season, and like you were saying, Morant's been talked about a lot.
I gotta
I
give.
think Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams as well like have good potential as well, right? And
That's
so,
true, but I'm not gonna like kind of count out the Timberwolves in this situation. That's why I said.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because what about Towns and Edwards, right?
Oh yeah, because Karl Anthony Towns is looking like one of the best centers as well. You got Anthony Edwards, and you still have what's his name?
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, there we go. He was on the Lakers, and I forgot about him because he was the ice in my veins guy. He started the ice in my veins.
That makes sense. He went to Minnesota. Then he's
Yeah.
he's Frozone. He's
Frozone.
Frozone. Is that his power up?
Oh, where's my super?
Like
suit?
if he's ever featured in Space Jam, that's his power up.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe in the
That's not even how it worked.
No, maybe
What are we
when they
talking
make the
about?
next NBA Jam. Remember the NBA Jam game they always made?
Yo,
maybe
I
when
never played. I heard
when
it
he
was
does
hype, though.
that, maybe when he does this, it's his power up. It's like, yo, I got ice in my veins.
It's like an
Power
automatic.
up.
It's an automatic half court.
Full court. No, it's not half. It's full.
It's the full?
Yes, it's a full fucking court.
He's just trying to ruin his arm, man.
Oh yeah. Thank God it's a video game.
Joints are no more.
fuck. Who needs joints? Yeah, but Tristan, I think that's all the teams we have to talk about today.
a lot of games in sixes. I just realized. I guess I do always predict the six. I don't know, right? It's hard to
I'm not gonna.
because there's always like a series that you're like, why did they get swept? And there's always a series like, oh wow, they went to 7. That's awesome.
I only actually have one sweep in this year, like in this playoff.
That
so
was
far,
Suns-
I have one sweep.
Those Suns Pelicans, right?
Yep, that's the only one because I had Mavs and going to 5. I had Heat
Might not
going to
even
5.
be in, right?
Yeah, because like this actually looks like a decently competitive playoffs for once in a first round for NBA. That's kind of rare.
Yeah,
because like few years ago, few years ago, they used to be just sweeps everywhere in the first round, and then you would finally get a decent series in like the second or third round. It always kind of it's not playoff hockey. It is not.
No.
It's not even close. It doesn't compare.
No,
but
not to the but that's one thing, and I always said that, and I think that's why I've always been kind of less intrigued in the NBA is because it was always the same. It was like when the Golden Warriors are getting in the finals every year, I'm like, come on, it's just boring, right? It's like some salary cap, eh?
we
what
thought
the
the
heck?
Lightning were bad with their salary cap when we found out they had 16 mil over the cap. in
I
the
still don't
playoffs.
believe there's a salary cap in the NBA. I believe it's just there to like say, you know.
Yeah, literally.
But it's nice that it's getting a lot more competitive. I am saying that I see the top seeds honestly do making it out, but it is going to be some competitive. I don't really see a lot of these, like I said, series. I think the Suns, right? But you never know. Some dark horse teams. I think the Nuggets could be a dark horse team. Bulls could do an upset against the Bucks. It is very possible. And the Nets, man, they're looking like they could be a decent competition with the Heat. So, on that side, then the West. Yeah, right. Grizzlies, right? They get.
Okay. If I had to look at dark horse
yeah,
teams
sorry.
for sure, if I had to if I had to look at dark horse teams in this scenario, I could see the Grizzlies as one. I could see the Mavericks even being one. I could see the 76ers and even Celtics if you really look into it. Because, like, again, all these teams, like,
It's
for like
weird.
the last few years, we've always had super teams. But to be honest, this is the most divided. This is the most talented teams we've seen.
It
in a
is
very
nice
long time.
how distributed it is, and I hope
For
it's like
once.
this for a long time. It's gonna, and I think as well that will get the NBA more popularity and more interest.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of times when I talk to people, I don't like the NBA because it's the same, and I agree with this, the same damn teams every year. Exactly, right? Super teams are boring. It's great if you're a home, if you cheer for that team, but it's like for the other fans, right? How do you grow a game when it's just the same darn people in California winning all the chips, right? So
Exactly. And a lot of people have said the NBA ratings have gone down so much because just people are tired of that, and I think they went a little bit too political and got involved in too much of that stuff, in my opinion. Like, because you know how the NHL is pretty quiet about when players get into interviews and all that stuff, right? The NBA is a complete different way.
NBA is very NHL.
They let their players talk. They let their players talk.
I like that, and that's why Zegras in the NHL is so put on a pedestal by the NHL because he has personality. These NBA stars have personalities, makes the game more fun and more relatable.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that is why another reason why NBA is the biggest league, right? Like the biggest North American league in terms of
NBA?
rating. If I'm correct, right? And like in terms
NFL.
of rating, it's still NFL.
NFL
Wow.
beat them because this year definitely proved it.
Oh.
Because like NBA
crazy.
is up there and it got a little bit close. It got close, but it's been dropping so much because just how I kind of mentioned with the NFL, they just said screw what's happening in the world. We're gonna just stay with football. Remember when I was talking about that in the football edition? With like,
Yeah.
hey, the NFL kind of went like, I don't care what's
I
happening.
think
inside.
as
We
well
went with
as
football.
all these players being, like you said, the distribution of wealth per se, in the sense of like players going everywhere.
Yeah.
The playoffs too, right? NFL playoffs are phenomenal, right? You finally got some new teams, up and coming stars and stuff. So you have the new generation coming in, and that's really racking in a lot of views. And I think the same with the NBA, right? Is because you're starting to see these players that we've been and seen with for 10 almost 15 years now.
Yeah.
They're getting to the age retirement.
They're on
It's
their
pretty
way
possible.
out.
So it's like the new era's coming in, and we're seeing a new game, and I think that's intriguing people as well.
That's why. Well, because that's where I also think the most talent in the NBA right now the most talent in the NBA is right now, because you see kids and like teenagers at any age right now, and they're spectacular at the game already.
That's why
And that is shocking.
That's why March Madness is pretty hype.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like all these college pickups, man. It's like, wow, these kids are.
And plus, everyone bets all their money on it.
Yeah, true.
And everyone does not get the same bracket, and everyone loses at the end.
All I hear is March Madness. Never hear about Frozen 4. Although Frozen 4 is supposed to be pretty good hockey, though.
Is it?
Yeah, college hockey, yeah.
Might have to look into that. But guys, I would like to thank you all for joining in our first NBA episode. We're kind of rocky, but we're just getting into it, so maybe give us a little bit of break in the comments if you're going to be nice, or be hateful. We'll just accept it all, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely do a little bit more research.
Yeah, same
And to
here.
other teams, because there's a few teams I know, like, of course, like, I'm a Raps fan, so I root for them. And then, of course, I know a little bit of, like, some of those more bandwagon teams, just because you hear about it more. And, you know, I have a bit of love for Florida teams, so the Heat something that kind of, you know. Plus, you know, Lowry went there, right? So
I'm a non-band.
stuff like that. But I need to definitely do a bit more research in that sense. But yeah, just if you guys have anything to add, just, say that or let us know in the comment section. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know actually if you guys want us to do more NBA stuff, because we will gladly do it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely get
drop
up
us
on
a
our
like.
research.
Again, any more sports, like we're thinking probably MLB too, right? Get some baseball in there. And yeah, so we'll just keep going. We'll keep grinding. And hey, a lot of sports, right? Like we were saying, MLB season starts, NBA playoffs, and NHL playoffs. So a lot to
Business
talk
is
about.
booming, and it's getting really interesting closing to summer. Oh,
Can't wait.
can't wait.
Sun's out.
Guns
Shiny trophies out. Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Sun's out, shiny trophies out. Hey, I think we just got a new slogan. But again, thank you guys so much. We're going to see, we're excited for playoffs, and we're going to see how wrong we are with our predictions.
yes,
because
sir.
who knows you never know what could happen in playoffs, but I guess there's only one way to find out, right, Tristan?
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys for enjoying. If you like this, obviously leave a like, leave a comment, and please subscribe. That would be much appreciated. If you also are curious, we're on YouTube, Spotify, and Buzzsprout, and we might be joining on more social media if we are actually thinking about it or not. But thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a good night. See ya.
Peace.